Imagine a highly advanced alien species observing Earth from the cold expanse of space. Their technology centuries ahead of anything humans have ever created. They've mapped the cosmos, conquered interstellar travel, and even mastered the complexities of time itself. To them, human civilization is nothing more than an amusing spectacle, a primitive society crawling along in its infancy. They watch, bemused, as we struggle with conflicts, environmental issues, and seemingly irrational behaviors. They laugh at our wars, our economic systems, and the way we treat one another. But there's one thing they just can't seem to understand. One pattern of behavior that doesn't make sense. Why do humans always seem to stay in the back? At first, the aliens assume it's a matter of hierarchy. Perhaps those who stand in the back are lower in status, forced to the edges of society, cast into the shadows by those in power. But as they observe further, they realize this behavior isn't limited to social structures. It's present in every aspect of human life. In classrooms, the brightest minds often sit at the back, quietly absorbing knowledge while the more boisterous ones command attention at the front. In warfare, the most skilled strategists don't rush into battle. They remain behind the lines, orchestrating victory. Even in the animal kingdom, humans have a strange tendency to remain hidden, avoiding confrontation until absolutely necessary. The aliens are confused. Shouldn't a species that claims to be dominant assert itself more openly? Their confusion only grows when they analyze human history. The greatest leaders, inventors, and revolutionaries often worked in the background, before stepping into the light. Albert Einstein developed his groundbreaking theories in solitude before shaking the foundations of physics. Nikola Tesla was overshadowed by corporate giants while quietly building technology that would shape the future. Even entire civilizations thrived by understanding the power of staying in the back. The Mongols, one of the most formidable forces in history, used deception and strategic retreat to outmaneuver their enemies. The Spartans, known for their military prowess, trained in secrecy, emerging only when their strength was at its peak. Time and time again, humans demonstrated an uncanny ability to bide their time, observing, learning, and striking when the moment was right. The aliens turn their attention to modern times. They notice a curious trend in human behavior. In crowded places, the most perceptive individuals avoid the center, choosing instead to position themselves at the edges, where they can see everything without drawing attention. In the corporate world, true power rarely lies with the loudest voices in the room, but with those who pull the strings from behind the scenes. Governments, intelligence agencies, and secret societies thrive on the art of subtle influence. The aliens realize that humans, despite their apparent disorganization, operate with a silent intelligence that is often underestimated. The ones who stay in the back are not weak. They are the thinkers, the strategists, the ones who understand that power is not about being seen but about knowing when to reveal oneself. This realization sparks a new question among the alien observers. What if humanity is not as primitive as they thought? What if their tendency to stay in the back is not a sign of weakness, but an evolutionary advantage? After all, in the vast cosmos where survival is dictated by intelligence and adaptability, those who watch and wait hold the greatest power. The aliens dig deeper, looking at human psychology. They discover the concept of introversion and the hidden strengths of those who prefer to operate from the shadows. Studies in psychology reveal that some of the most intelligent and successful people exhibit a preference for observation over participation. Their ability to analyze situations, process information, and act strategically has given them an edge in countless scenarios. The aliens begin to see humanity in a new light. No longer just a species of warring tribes and chaotic societies, they recognize a deeper intelligence at play. Perhaps, just perhaps, the humans know something they don't. They continue their observations, but this time, they are no longer laughing. They are watching, just as humans do, waiting to see what happens next. The aliens, now intrigued rather than amused, begin a more meticulous study of human behavior. They shift their focus to the way humans interact in moments of crisis and competition. What they discover unsettles them. Unlike many other species they've encountered, humans have a remarkable ability to conceal their true potential until it is absolutely necessary. They see this in military strategy, where entire nations maintain the illusion of vulnerability until the time comes to strike. They see it in chess grandmasters, who bait their opponents into a false sense of security before delivering a decisive move. They even see it in everyday life, where the quietest individuals often turn out to be the most capable when faced with an unexpected challenge. One of the most startling examples the aliens come across is human deception. Not in the crude, dishonest sense, but as an art form of survival. Humans are capable of feigning weakness, allowing adversaries to underestimate them before revealing their true strength. The aliens study historical events where entire civilizations have relied on this tactic. They see how the Byzantine Empire used diplomacy and subterfuge to outlast more powerful enemies. They analyze the way intelligence agencies around the world engage in counter-espionage, feeding misinformation to their adversaries to gain the upper hand. Even in personal relationships, humans instinctively understand when to hold back, when to let others believe they are powerless, only to act decisively when the opportunity presents itself. This revelation unsettles the aliens because it contradicts their understanding of dominance. In their own civilizations, strength is displayed openly. The most advanced species they have encountered thrive on direct control, ensuring that their superiority is evident at all times. But humans are different. They do not need to assert dominance to maintain it. They play a long game, one built on patience, observation, and precise execution. This makes them unpredictable, and in the vast expanse of the universe, unpredictability is a rare and dangerous trait. The aliens turn their attention to the way humans use technology. At first glance, their advancements seem primitive compared to the wonders of interstellar civilizations. Their spacecraft are slow, their energy sources inefficient, and their methods of communication outdated. But as they examine human innovation more closely, they recognize something astonishing. Human technology does not advance in a linear fashion. It evolves in bursts, driven by necessity and conflict. The moment humans are faced with an existential threat, their innovation accelerates at an alarming rate. The aliens recall how humanity went from horse-drawn carriages to space travel in just a few generations. They see how, during times of war, human engineering capabilities soar, producing breakthroughs that might have taken centuries under normal circumstances. More than anything, the aliens realize that humans have an innate ability to adapt. Other species they've observed are constrained by their own perfection, evolving slowly because they have already reached the peak of efficiency. But humans thrive in chaos. Their flaws, their inefficiencies, their constant struggles, they are not weaknesses but catalysts for growth. The aliens now understand that the human's tendency to stay in the back is not due to fear or incompetence. It is a strategy. They wait, they learn, and when the time comes, they rise. The aliens begin to wonder, if humanity has achieved so much while appearing so unassuming, what else might they be hiding? What will happen when the day comes when they no longer feel the need to stay in the back? As the aliens continue their observation, they begin to notice an unsettling pattern emerging in human history. Whenever faced with an overwhelming challenge, humans do not simply endure, they adapt, innovate, and ultimately emerge stronger. What first appeared as chaos to the alien observers now starts to reveal itself as something far more calculated. They analyze wars, economic collapses, and natural disasters, expecting to see a species crumble under pressure. Instead, they find that these very crises act as catalysts for unprecedented growth. Time and time again, humans take what should be a fatal blow and turn it into an opportunity to evolve. The aliens shift their focus to individual human behavior. They examine how humans navigate danger, how they make decisions under extreme stress, and how they interact with one another when the odds are stacked against them. They begin to notice that those who stay in the back are not simply avoiding confrontation. They are analyzing, learning, and waiting for the perfect moment to act. They see this behavior in soldiers who assess a battlefield before striking. They see it in scientists who quietly dedicate their lives to unraveling the mysteries of the universe before revealing their findings to the world. They even see it in ordinary people who, despite appearing insignificant, are capable of incredible acts of resilience when pushed to their limits. The aliens study how humans have dealt with external threats throughout history. They see how ancient civilizations, when faced with powerful invaders, used guerrilla tactics instead of direct confrontation. They see how underground resistance movements have shaped the course of wars, turning the tide against seemingly invincible empires. They see how even in politics and diplomacy, those who hold true power rarely stand in the spotlight, but rather pull the strings from behind the scenes. The realization is unsettling. Humanity's greatest strength is not its intelligence, technology, or physical prowess. It is its ability to remain underestimated until it is too late. The aliens dig deeper into human psychology, trying to understand the mindset that drives this behavior. They learn about concepts such as strategic patience, misdirection, and psychological warfare. They analyze the teachings of Sun Tzu's The Art of War, which emphasizes the importance of deception and indirect tactics. They explore the writings of Machiavelli, who describes how true power is often wielded in secret. They study the tactics of great military minds throughout history, all of whom understood that the key to victory was never brute force, but rather the ability to manipulate one's enemies into making fatal mistakes. This discovery sends a ripple of unease through the alien ranks. Up until now, they had viewed humanity as an amusing, primitive species, not worthy of serious consideration. But now, they see them in a different light. The humans are not weak. They are not chaotic. They are patient. And patience, in the grand scheme of the universe, is far more dangerous than brute strength. The aliens realize that if humanity ever decided to step forward from the shadows, to stop staying in the back, they could become a force unlike anything the cosmos has ever seen. The aliens begin to question everything they thought they knew. If humans are capable of such adaptability, such strategic cunning, then what else might they be hiding? What kind of power lies dormant within this seemingly insignificant species? And most importantly, if humanity has spent its entire existence staying in the back, what might happen on the day they decide to step forward? The aliens continue their silent surveillance, now analyzing the moments in history when humanity made its most unexpected leaps forward. They look at the Renaissance, a time when art, science, and philosophy flourished seemingly out of nowhere, reshaping the world. They examine the Industrial Revolution, when humans transitioned from agrarian societies to mechanized power at an unprecedented speed. They study the digital age, where in just a few decades, a species that once relied on written letters now communicates instantly across the globe. Every time it seemed as though humans were falling behind, they proved otherwise. Every time the universe would have dismissed them as primitive, they found a way to rise. The aliens begin to realize that human progress follows an unpredictable pattern. Unlike many species, which advance in a steady, linear fashion, human development operates in bursts, jumps in intelligence and innovation fueled by necessity. They see that wars, conflicts, and disasters do not weaken humanity, but instead serve as the catalyst for its most significant advancements. When the Cold War pushed nations to the brink of destruction, humans developed technologies that would later be used for space exploration. When diseases ravaged their world, they not only found cures, but also pioneered medical breakthroughs that extended their lifespans. The aliens recognize that chaos does not hinder humans, it refines them. The more the aliens observe, the more their amusement turns to concern. Their understanding of power had always been based on outward displays of strength, on civilizations that demonstrated dominance through technological superiority or military conquest. But humans had an entirely different kind of power. One that did not rely on showing strength, but rather on knowing when to conceal it. They noticed that some of humanity's most formidable minds remain hidden until their moment arrives. The greatest thinkers, inventors, and strategists often operate in the shadows, refining their ideas before unveiling them to the world. The aliens look deeper into human warfare and realize that their victories were rarely won by brute force alone. Rather, they relied on deception, adaptability, and unconventional tactics. Hannibal Barca, one of the greatest military commanders in history, led his army through the Alps to outflank the mighty Roman legions, defying all expectations. The Allied forces in World War II used misinformation campaigns to trick the Axis powers into preparing for attacks in the wrong locations. Even in modern times, cyber warfare and intelligence operations often determine the outcomes of conflicts before a single shot is fired. The aliens' concern deepens as they notice how humanity applies the same strategic patience to technology. They initially dismissed human spacecraft as primitive, incapable of interstellar travel. But upon closer inspection, they realized that humans are already on the cusp of breakthroughs. Quantum computing, artificial intelligence, genetic engineering, fields that, while still in their infancy, show exponential growth. And with each technological leap, the aliens see something unsettling. Humans are not just developing technology for survival, they are preparing for something much greater. The aliens cannot help but ask themselves, what is humanity waiting for? If they are truly as intelligent and strategic as the evidence suggests, then their decision to stay in the back must be intentional. Are they aware of the larger forces at play in the universe? Have they already encountered extraterrestrial threats and chosen to remain hidden? Or are they simply biding their time, waiting for the right moment to step forward and reveal their true capabilities? The aliens, once so sure of their superiority, now find themselves facing an unsettling possibility. What if the humans have been watching them too? The aliens' unease grows as they dig deeper into the human psyche. They begin to recognize that humans possess a unique paradox. They thrive on conflict, but also excel at cooperation when the stakes demand it. Unlike other species, whose advancements are often slow and methodical, humans operate in extremes. They can be chaotic and reckless, but they can also be calculated and disciplined. The aliens realize that this duality makes them unpredictable, and unpredictability is the one thing that no advanced species can account for. As they continue to monitor humanity's technological progression, the aliens take note of an alarming trend. Human civilization, despite its internal struggles, has a pattern of exponential growth. Their advancements do not merely stack upon one another, they accelerate, each discovery fueling the next, at an increasing rate. The aliens observe that humanity has already begun experimenting with artificial intelligence, genetic modification, and quantum physics, all fields that, when mastered, could propel them into a new era of existence. What's more, these developments are not occurring in isolation. Scientists, engineers, and thinkers across the planet are connected like never before, exchanging ideas at a speed unimaginable to past generations. The aliens wonder, what happens when a species with such unpredictable tendencies achieves near-limitless potential? Looking back through human history, the aliens notice that humanity's greatest leaps forward have always been preceded by struggle. The fall of empires, the devastation of plagues, the destruction of wars, all of these moments of collapse led to even greater recoveries. Unlike species that crumble under pressure, humans use adversity as fuel. The aliens realize that humanity's seeming fragility is a carefully maintained illusion. They endure hardship not because they are weak, but because each struggle refines them, forcing them to evolve beyond their previous limitations. The aliens' perspective begins to shift. What once seemed like a foolish, backward species now appears to be something far more formidable. They recognize that humanity's greatest strength is not in what they have already achieved, but in their capacity to push beyond their own boundaries. They do not merely advance, they transform. If their pattern holds true, then their future will not be a slow march of progress. It will be an explosion, a sudden and unstoppable leap that could reshape the balance of the cosmos. A growing sense of urgency spreads among the alien observers. They know now that humans are not staying in the back out of fear. They are waiting, watching, learning. And when the time comes, they will step forward. The aliens begin to ask themselves a critical question. When that day arrives, will humanity emerge as a force of creation or destruction? The aliens' unease reaches a fever pitch as they realize just how drastically they had miscalculated humanity. They had laughed at humans, dismissing them as an amusing, primitive species. But now they understand the truth. Humans are not to be underestimated. Their capacity for growth, their ability to adapt, and their instinct for survival are unlike anything the aliens have ever encountered. And what disturbs them most is that humanity has not yet revealed its full potential. The aliens begin to speculate. If humans have already achieved so much despite their internal conflicts, what would happen if they were ever truly unified? If, instead of competing amongst themselves, they turned their focus outward, toward the stars. The thought sends a shiver through the alien ranks. Humans have a history of overcoming obstacles, of surpassing limitations that once seemed insurmountable. If they ever set their sights on expanding beyond their planet with the same drive that fueled their past advancements, they could become an unstoppable force in the universe. The more they analyze, the clearer it becomes. Human history is filled with moments when they seemed weak, vulnerable, even on the brink of collapse, only to rise stronger than ever before. Every hardship has shaped them, hardened them, prepared them for greater challenges. Their ability to stay in the background is not a sign of inferiority, but a strategy. They do not announce their strength. They do not boast. They wait. They observe. And when the time comes, they act with a precision and effectiveness that their enemies never see coming. The aliens exchange uneasy glances. If humanity is waiting, then the only question that remains is, what are they waiting for? Do they know something that other species do not? Have they already encountered threats beyond their world and chosen to remain hidden until the moment is right? The aliens now understand that they are not the only ones watching. Humanity has been watching too, studying, preparing. A final realization settles over the alien observers like a heavy shadow. If humans have spent their existence staying in the back, concealing their full strength, then perhaps it is because they are aware of something far greater than themselves. Something the aliens have yet to understand. And when the day comes that humanity finally steps forward, revealing the true extent of their potential, the universe may never be the same again. The laughter has long since stopped. The only thing left now is silent, uneasy respect, and a lingering, terrifying question. What happens when humanity decides it is finally time to lead? Please subscribe this channel for more interesting videos in future. Thanks.